Welcome to Mexico, a country of ancient civilizations, vibrant cities, tropical coastlines, and timeless traditions. From the sun-kissed ruins of the Maya to the colorful streets of Oaxaca, from jungle cenotes to desert canyons, every step reveals a new face of this richly diverse land. This journey will take you across Mexico's most iconic and lesser-known regions, exploring its culture, history, landscapes, and of course, its unforgettable flavors. Whether you're dreaming of exploring ancient pyramids, swimming in turquoise waters, tasting street tacos, or just soaking in the rhythm of a bustling plaza, Mexico welcomes you with open arms and 1,000 stories. Let's begin our journey in the pulsing heart of it all, Mexico City. Mexico City, the heartbeat of a nation. Our journey begins in the vibrant heart of Mexico, Mexico City. A sprawling metropolis that fuses the ancient and the modern, the sacred and the everyday. With a history spanning over 7 centuries, this is one of the most dynamic urban centers in the world. We start at the very core of the Zócalo, Mexico City's vast main square. Once the ceremonial center of the Aztec capital Tenochtitlan, today it's framed by colonial buildings and the awe-inspiring Metropolitan Cathedral. Built atop ancient ruins, it represents layers of faith and time stacked one over the other. Nearby stands the Palacio de Bellas Artes, a jewel of marble and mosaic crowned with a fiery orange dome. Inside, Diego Rivera's murals capture Mexico's revolutionary spirit, while traditional dance and opera performances echo through its gilded halls. For a breath of green in this buzzing city, we head to Chapultepec Park, a vast urban oasis twice the size of New York's Central Park. You'll see joggers, families with balloons, and paddle boats drifting over quiet lakes. Climb up to Chapultepec Castle, once the residence of Emperor Maximilian, and take in the panoramic view of the city skyline. In the bohemian neighborhood of Coyoacán, we step into a different world. Cobblestone streets, leafy plazas, and markets bursting with color lead us to La Casa Azul, the Blue House, home of artist Frida Kahlo. Inside, her self-portraits, corsets, and personal artifacts offer an intimate window into a life of pain, passion, and radical creativity. Then it's off to Xochimilco, a place where time floats, quite literally. Once part of the Aztec canal system, today it's a festive escape. Brightly colored trajineras glide through the water, carrying mariachi bands, families' birthday parties, and coolers filled with beer. It's a party on the water, where tacos and tequila arrive by boat, and music fills the air. And as the sun dips, Mexico City doesn't rest, it revs up. In Arena Mexico, masked wrestlers leap into roaring crowds in lucha libre matches. Elsewhere, rooftop bars in Roma and Condesa light up with laughter, mezcal cocktails, and city views that stretch for miles. This is Mexico City, chaotic, soulful, and alive. A place where history lives next door to modern rhythm, and where the spirit of Mexico begins to reveal itself. Teotihuacán, City of the Gods. Just 50 kilometers northeast of Mexico City, we arrive at one of the most majestic and mysterious archaeological sites in the Americas, Teotihuacán. Known as the City of the Gods, this ancient metropolis once housed over 100,000 people and was among the largest cities in the world during its peak over 1,500 years ago. As you approach the site, the vastness is overwhelming. The Avenue of the Dead, a grand central boulevard, stretches for over 2 kilometers. Flanking it are ceremonial plazas, temples, and pyramids that rise like stone mountains from the dry valley floor. As you approach the site, the vastness is overwhelming. The Avenue of the Dead, a grand central boulevard, stretches for over 2 kilometers. Flanking it are ceremonial plazas, temples, and pyramids that rise like stone mountains from the dry valley floor. To the north lies the Pyramid of the Moon, slightly smaller but even more intricately designed. This was likely a ceremonial space for rituals dedicated to fertility, water, and the great female deities of the Teotihuacán pantheon. All around are faded murals, stone masks, and underground tunnels still being explored by archaeologists today. Despite its grandeur, we still don't know exactly who built Teotihuacán. It was already in ruins when the Aztecs arrived centuries later, and they were the ones who gave it the name we use today. Walk quietly along the ancient avenue, and you may feel it, the deep hum of time. This is a place where myths were born, where the heavens were studied, and where the architecture still speaks a silent, powerful language. Today, Teotihuacán is one of Mexico's most visited landmarks, yet it retains a sacred stillness. Whether you come for the history, the view, or the mystery, it leaves its mark on you. From here, we leave the highlands and begin to journey south toward the vibrant streets, ancestral flavors, and cultural soul of Oaxaca. Oaxaca, colors, traditions, and flavors. Oaxaca isn't just a destination, it's a celebration of everything that makes Mexico magical. Nestled in the Sierra Madre Mountains, this highland city pulses with color, culture, and deep-rooted traditions. Every street feels like a living canvas. Colonial facades painted in shades of ochre, turquoise, and coral. Banners of papal picado fluttering above cobblestone lanes. And everywhere, the scent of something delicious being cooked. Oaxaca is the birthplace of mole, Mexico's most complex and beloved sauce. It's not just a dish, it's a ritual. In the markets, rows of rich, dark moles sit beside hand-ground chocolate, grasshoppers, and giant rounds of quesillo cheese. But food is just the beginning. Oaxaca is a capital of indigenous heritage. The city and its surrounding valleys are home to 16 different indigenous groups, each with their own languages, clothing, and crafts. In nearby villages like Teotihuacán del Valle, you can watch Zapotec weavers dye wool with natural colors and work ancient looms passed down for generations. In San Martin Tilcajit, artisans carve and paint fantastical wooden creatures called alabrijes, a surreal fusion of myth and imagination. And then, there's the celebration that defines Oaxaca like no other, Dia de Muertos. Each fall, homes and cemeteries transform into glowing altars filled with marigolds, candles, and the favorite foods of departed loved ones. It's not a mourning, it's a homecoming. Even outside the city, Oaxaca's wonder continues. The ruins of Monte Alban, perched high above the valley, offer sweeping views and a glimpse into Zapotec civilization. The petrified waterfalls of here El Agua glisten under the sun, with natural infinity pools that feel like the edge of the world. Whether you're sipping mezcal in a quiet courtyard, joining a street parade, or simply watching life go by from a plaza bench, Oaxaca moves slowly, deeply, and beautifully. And from here, our journey continues into the lush jungles and waterfalls of Chiapas, where ancient temples rise from the mist. Chiapas, waterfalls, jungles, and ruins. Far to the south, where Mexico brushes against Guatemala, lies Chiapas, a land of emerald jungles, rushing rivers, and ancient echoes. This is a place where nature and history intertwine, where the landscape feels alive with stories older than memory. Our journey begins at Sumidero Canyon, a colossal gorge carved by the Grijalva River. Its vertical walls soar over 1,000 meters high, casting deep shadows across the water. As your boat glides between the cliffs, you spot herons poised on rocky ledges, crocodiles basking in the sun, and waterfalls that spill like silver threads into the river below. Local legend says the canyon was once a sacred site, a gateway between worlds. From here, the road winds into the Chiapas Highlands, leading to the vibrant colonial town of San Cristobal de las Casas. Its cobblestone streets are lined with pastel facades, artisan markets, and cafes that smell of freshly roasted Chiapas coffee. Here, indigenous tzatzil and Tzeltal women sell hand-woven textiles whose colors mirror the surrounding mountains. But the true magic of Chiapas lies in its wild heart. Deep in the rainforest, the Agua Azul waterfalls cascade in turquoise tears, their mineral-rich waters shimmering under the tropical sun. The sound is constant, a rushing lullaby that drowns out all thought except awe. Venture further, and the jungle reveals one of its greatest treasures, the ruins of Palenque. Swallowed by the forest for centuries, this ancient Maya city rises from the green in terraces, temples, and plazas. Climb the Temple of the Cross and gaze across a canopy where howler monkeys call in the distance. Walk among carved stele and intricate reliefs that tell tales of kings, gods, and cosmic journeys. In Chiapas, every step feels like an adventure, whether you're navigating a canyon by boat, sipping coffee in a mountain town, swimming in sapphire pools, or wandering the ruins of a city lost to time. This is Mexico at its most untamed, its most soulful. From the jungle's edge, our path turns east toward the Yucatan Peninsula, where ancient pyramids rise under the tropical sun and crystal cenotes beckon travelers into the depths. Yucatan, Mayan pyramids, and cenote swims. Eastward toward the rising sun, we arrive in the Yucatan Peninsula, a land where earth, water, and stone have been telling the story of the Maya for thousands of years. Our journey begins at Chichen Itza, one of the new seven wonders of the world. At its heart stands El Castillo, the temple of Kukulkan, rising in perfect symmetry toward the sky. This is more than stone. It's a monument carved from astronomy, mathematics, and faith. During the equinox, a dance of light and shadow creates the illusion of a feathered serpent descending the pyramid steps, the god Kukulkan returning to earth. But the spirit of Yucatan lies beyond the crowds. Travel to Uxmal, a masterpiece of the Puuc architectural style. Its intricate facades and grand pyramids are adorned with carvings of rain gods and celestial symbols. Here, the only sounds are the calls of tropical birds and the whisper of wind through ancient stone. The peninsula is also home to a hidden kingdom of water, the cenotes. These natural sinkholes, formed by collapsed limestone, reveal crystal-clear pools connected to underground rivers. Cenote at Kill, with its curtain of vines and shafts of sunlight piercing the surface, feels like a sacred cathedral of nature. Cenote Sutton, with its perfectly circular opening, becomes a spotlight for those who dare to step into its cool embrace. In Yucatan, every step leads you deeper into the mysteries of the Maya, from grand cities aligned with the cosmos to secret waters where the earth opens its heart. And from here, our path follows the Caribbean shoreline, where ancient temples meet turquoise seas, and the rhythm of the waves becomes the soundtrack to paradise. Quintana Roo, Tulum, Cancun, and coastal paradise. Following the curve of the Yucatan eastward, we reach Quintana Roo, where the ancient world meets the turquoise embrace of the Caribbean Sea. Our first glimpse is Tulum, where weathered stone temples perch on a cliff above waters so vividly blue they seem unreal. Once a bustling Maya port city, Tulum guarded trade routes and welcomed seafarers from distant shores. Today it greets travelers with the same breathtaking view: sunrise spilling gold across the sea, waves breaking against the rocks below. Further north, the sands widen into the playgrounds of Cancun and Playa del Carmen. Here, the rhythm is part ocean, part nightlife. Mornings of soft beaches and calm swims give way to evenings lit by music, laughter, and the clink of glasses under the warm Caribbean air. Offshore, Cozumel's reefs beckon. Slip beneath the surface, and you enter a kaleidoscope world of coral gardens, schools of tropical fish, and the graceful silhouettes of sea turtles drifting through the current. The water here is so clear it feels as if you're floating in liquid crystal. Yet even amid the buzz of beach clubs and resorts, Quintana Roo keeps its pockets of peace. Shaded palm groves, quiet coves, and stretches of shoreline where the only footprints are your own. Here, life moves to the ebb and flow of the tide. Whether you're tracing the stones of an ancient temple, dancing barefoot in the sand, or simply listening to the ocean breathe, Quintana Roo offers one promise: to make you feel the magic of the Caribbean with every heartbeat. From these shores, we turn inland once more toward the cobblestone streets, colonial facades, and golden light of San Miguel de Allende. San Miguel de Allende, colonial magic and golden light. High in the central highlands of Mexico, the road bends toward a vision of pastel walls, wrought iron balconies, and church spires glowing in the afternoon sun. This is San Miguel de Allende, a city where time seems to move to the slow rhythm of cobblestone streets. At its heart rises the Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel, its neo-Gothic towers reaching like rose-colored lace into the sky. From the plaza below, you can hear the hum of street musicians and the distant ringing of church bells. Around every corner, galleries spill with the work of local artists, and cafes invite you to linger over a cup of café de olla, rich with cinnamon and piloncillo. San Miguel is more than beautiful, it's a living canvas. Painters set up easels in sunlit courtyards, potters shape clay in cool workshops, and the scent of fresh bread drifts from hidden bakeries. As the day fades, rooftops become the city's front row seats. With a drink in hand, you watch the skyline turn to silhouettes against a watercolor sky. Named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, San Miguel has long drawn dreamers, artists, and wanderers from around the world. But its soul belongs to its people, warm, welcoming, and proud of the traditions that make this place feel like both a painting and a home. From here, we journey just a short distance to another jewel of central Mexico, Guanajuato, where tunnels twist beneath colorful hills and stories live in every alley. Guanajuato, tunnels, theaters, and legends. Just over the hills from San Miguel lies Guanajuato, a city that feels like it was painted from a dream. Wedged into a narrow valley, its houses spill down the slopes in a cascade of color: crimson, gold, turquoise, and rose, each one catching the sunlight in a different way. Beneath the surface, an entirely different city winds through stone tunnels carved long ago to redirect a river. Today, they carry cars and pedestrians through shadowed passageways that open suddenly into sunlit plazas. Above ground, the heart of Guanajuato beats in its historic center. Teatro Juarez, with its grand columns and opulent interior, hosts performances that echo the city's love for the arts. Every October, the Cervantino Festival transforms the streets into a stage, music, theater, and dance spilling into every square. Then there are the stories, like the legend of the Callejón del Beso, the Alley of the Kiss, where balconies are so close that lovers could lean across and meet in secret. And the Mummy Museum, where history takes on a more haunting form, preserving the faces of those who lived here centuries ago. Wander Guanajuato's twisting lanes, and you'll find musicians in traditional tunics leading Calajanitas. Evening serenade walks through the city. Follow them, and you'll be swept into a celebration of life, love, and legend. From these golden hills, our path turns west toward the roar of the Pacific and the laid-back shores of Puerto Escondido. The Pacific Coast, Puerto Escondido, and Oaxacan beaches. On Mexico's Pacific edge, the air grows salty and warm, and the sound of the ocean takes over the senses. This is Puerto Escondido, a place where golden sands stretch beneath a blazing sun, and waves roll in with the rhythm of an untamed coast. For surfers, it's a pilgrimage. Zicatila Beach is known as the Mexican Pipeline, its towering waves drawing riders from across the globe. Even if you never set foot on a board, just watching the ocean's raw power is enough to leave you in awe. But the Pacific here is not only for thrill seekers. Hidden coves like Carazalillo offer calm, turquoise waters perfect for swimming or floating in the quiet embrace of the sea. Along the shore, fishermen mend their nets, and beachfront cafes serve ceviche so fresh it tastes of the ocean itself. Further down the coast, Zipolite, with its long open beach, slows life down to its simplest pleasures, a hammock, a sunset, and the soft hiss of waves in the dark. As the sun sinks, the horizon burns orange and gold before melting into deep indigo, leaving only the steady pulse of the surf. Here, life is dictated by tides and trade winds. It's a place that invites you to breathe deeper, move slower, and let the sea reset your soul. From these sunlit shores, we head north, where the desert meets the ocean in the dramatic landscapes of Baja California. Baja California, desert meets sea. Far to the northwest, where Mexico stretches like a finger toward the Pacific, lies Baja California, a land of stark contrasts where cactus-studded deserts meet the shimmering blues of the sea. In the tranquil waters of the Sea of Cortez, once called the world's aquarium by Jacques Cousteau, life thrives in abundance. Each winter, gray whales make the long migration from the Arctic, gathering in sheltered bays near Loreto and La Paz. Here, in small boats, you can witness the extraordinary, a whale surfacing just an arm's length away, its great eye watching you with quiet curiosity. To the south, the granite arch of Cabo San Lucas rises from the water, marking the meeting point of the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California. Pelicans wheel overhead, sea lions bask on the rocks, and the waves crash endlessly against this natural monument. But Baja isn't only about the sea. Inland, the Valle de Guadalupe has become Mexico's wine country, where rolling vineyards and boutique wineries produce vintages that rival those of Europe. Here, long tables are set beneath olive trees, meals linger into the golden hours, and every glass tells the story of this rugged, generous land. In Baja California, nature writes the script, Vast skies, deep waters, and landscapes that seem untouched by time. It's a place for explorers, dreamers, and anyone who longs to stand between desert and ocean, feeling the pull of both. From here, we leave the peninsula behind and return to the heart of Mexico, to its Pueblos Mágicos, the magical towns where tradition, beauty, and history live side by side. Pueblos Mágicos, off the path and timeless charm. Scattered across Mexico are places so rich in beauty, history, and tradition that they've been given a special title, Pueblos Mágicos, or Magical Towns. Each one offers a window into a different side of the country, far from the rush of big cities and resort crowds. In the high desert of San Luis Potosí lies Real de Catorce, a former silver mining town turned ghostly retreat. To reach it, you pass through a long stone tunnel that opens into a cobblestone plaza surrounded by crumbling facades and sweeping mountain views. Here, silence is part of the charm, broken only by the wind and the occasional hoofbeat of horses on stone. In Guerrero, Tasco gleams under the sun, its whitewashed walls and terracotta roofs tumbling down the hillside. Known as Mexico's silver capital, its markets overflow with finely crafted jewelry, and its narrow streets seem made for wandering. Far to the southeast, Bacala is called the Lagoon of Seven Colors, a vast freshwater lake shimmering in shifting shades of turquoise, indigo, and emerald. Paddle across its calm surface at sunrise, and you'll feel as though you've entered a living painting. Closer to the capital, Tepoztlan clings to the base of rugged cliffs, watched over by the ruins of a hilltop pyramid. The town is known for its vibrant markets, mystical legends, and the scent of freshly made tlacoyos cooking on street griddles. Each Pueblo Mágico tells its own story, in its streets, its flavors, and the smiles of its people. They invite you to slow down, to listen, and to discover that the soul of Mexico often lives in its quietest corners. From these magical towns, our journey comes full circle, gathering all the colors, sounds, and stories we found along the way, ready to weave them into one final farewell. From the misty highlands of Chiapas to the sunlit shores of the Pacific, from the grand pyramids of ancient civilizations to the quiet charm of magical towns, Mexico is not just one place, but 1,000 worlds stitched together by history, flavor, and the warmth of its people. We've crossed deserts and jungles, wandered cobblestone streets, and swum in crystal cenotes. Along the way, we've met artisans who keep centuries-old traditions alive, tasted dishes that carry the essence of a region, and stood in places where the past still whispers to those who listen. Mexico is a mosaic, each tile a different landscape, a different voice, a different heartbeat. And whether you come here seeking adventure, relaxation, or connection, you'll leave with something more, a piece of its spirit, carried in your own story. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this adventure inspired you, help us share it with the world. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next destination. Drop us a comment below and tell us which part of Mexico calls your name the loudest. Until the next journey, gracias and hasta pronto.